Okay, for this video, we're working on page 12. That's 12. You're going to need two things. They're both from this packet. So from this page that's left with these three guys on it, you need this middle one that says Mohs Hardness Scale. Then you're going to need the last page that's left. This one up here that says Sketch Notes. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and come back when you have both of those things cut out and ready to go. Okay, for this one, you're going to need a pen or pencil, something to write with and something to highlight with or underline with. Okie doke. So the Mohs Hardness Scale, this is something we've been working on for a while. So remember that it's a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the hardest and 1 being the softest. So we're going to say softest, hardest. Okay, so we've got our 5 or our 10 minerals here that are like our standard minerals for those hardness levels. So talc is going to be our softest. That's a 1. You can scratch it with a fingernail, but you can also scratch gypsum with a fingernail. I should say. And then our hardest here is a diamond, 10, which scratches everything, but whatever. And then here's just some other facts of what these things are used for. So that's pretty important. So what is the Mohs Hardness Scale? And that answer is not here. You have to just tell me based on everything we know already. The Mohs Hardness, I'm starting your sentence for you, scale is, and then you finish that. The hardest mineral is, and again, you should be able to answer that without even looking. We've talked about it so many times. So we're going to go ahead and put that to the side, or no, let's get it all the way at the very top glued in. So like all the way up here. Make sure you have to maybe rewrite your 1 or your 1 and your 2. There we go. Okay, and we're going to get this one. Now this one's going to take a little bit more effort. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to follow along and read the passage at the bottom and fill in the blanks that are missing there. And then we'll come back and fill in the blanks that are missing at the top, and you'll get a chance to color it. I'll put a colored picture on it. So go ahead, scroll, move down to the bottom, and we're going to put some information in here. Okay. So our buddy Friedrich Mohs was a German mineralogist who invented a scale that assesses a mineral's resistance to being, yes, scratched. If you guessed that, 10 points for Hufflepuff. The scale is called the Mohs Scale of Mineral Hardness. Oh, come on, yes. You got that too. That means you've been listening. Friedrich's scale is based on 10 well-known minerals and assigns a number from 1 to 10 to each mineral. The easiest mineral to scratch is rated a 1. Make sure that you can see that really good because it kind of small. The hardest mineral to scratch, yes, if you didn't say diamond out loud, I'm going to cry. Diamond is rated a 10. Although the scale was created in 1812, it is still used today by field scientists who can use kits to identify the unknown minerals. So even though it was invented a long time ago, it's still relative. We still use it. Geologists and mineralogists still use it because it's helpful. And those relative hardnesses haven't changed. A diamond is still harder than corundum, and corundum is still harder than topaz. Even if we've discovered more minerals since then, they still fit in this scale. So we're going to fill in some missing blanks up here, and we're going to start with number 1. So this is talc, and it can be scratched by a fingernail. You should know that by now. It's number 1. Number 2, gypsum, can also be scratched by a fingernail. Number 3, calcite can be scratched with a copper. Yeah, if you said penny, that's fine. Penny or coin will work. And put penny in parentheses. We've got fluorite. Remember, my sample of fluorite was blue, but in the gizmo, it showed up as several different colors. So it can be scratched with a iron nail, which we didn't have. This is how mineralogists in the field would tell the difference between those two. And we've got apatite, which can be scratched also with an iron nail. So an iron nail is going to be like this. It's going to be this nice darker color. Versus the steel one, which was kind of like the plate. So we move over here to orthoclase, which can be scratched with a steel file. We've got quartz, which scratches window glass. So window glass is pretty hard. And then we've got topaz, which scratches quartz and glass. So if you forgot, everything that's like here, like in 8, can scratch all of this stuff. So we're going to scratch everything on the circle behind it. We've got corundum, which scratches topaz. That's the one right below it. And then our hardest of all minerals, and cannot be scratched. Now I think you're wondering, how do they cut diamonds then? How do they make them those shapes? They use other diamonds, and I believe now they use lasers as well. But before, it was just they had to use another diamond to cut another diamond, which sounds crazy, but they just made a sharper version of a diamond. So you're going to color these in based on what they look like. Feel free to like color the numbers as well. I have them all colored red in my other version, but talc is a pretty like light whitish gray. Gypsum is like a light yellowish. Calcite is pretty much whitish. Fluorite can be a lot of colors, but usually in like the blue, green, purple scale. Apatite is usually a light blue. Orthoclase is a light, like tannish yellow. Quartz is often white. Topaz can be lots of colors, but its prettiest version I think is like a light blue. Corundum is usually like an orange or a reddish sort of color. And I will post a picture of that eventually, but you can also Google these different minerals and color them that way. Now get this glued in. I'm going to zoom back out. So you've got your thing up at the top, and you want to get this in here. So you're just gonna, you can cut that off at the top if you don't want that there, or stick it underneath here. You're just gonna fold up the paragraph and get that glued in. But make sure when you take a picture, you take a picture with it unfolded. Okay? So that is page 12. Make sure you go back and watch anything if you missed anything.